Sixth grade, welcome to chapter 6 in science class. We're going to move into what's called biomes, where we take the earth and we divide it into some big, huge categories, and we study the climate of those big, huge categories, the plants, the soil, the animals that live there. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We'll go back to the word biosphere, which we had way back in chapter 1, and then we'll learn about biomes and how they differ. You have a botanical illustrator here in your little side story. Person who draws plants. That's botany, the study of plants, and then everything that goes into that. Okay, as we cruise into this, guys, we're going to get into some of these terms in this first lesson about a community and a population, an ecosystem, and then we'll study the biomes that make up the maps in lesson 2. So get excited. Okay, scrolling past this first one because I didn't copy right. Here we go. If you're bored and you want to run a science experiment at home, you're going to learn how desert plants retain water. So what you do is you get 3 different paper towels and you get them wet, and then you squeeze out the excess water so that they're just wet and not dripping water everywhere. Then you put 1 towel on a piece of aluminum foil. You roll up the second paper towel, so it's just paper towel rolled up, and then you take the third paper towel and you wrap the remaining paper towel inside of wax paper and use paper clips to keep the ends closed. So paper towel laid flat, paper towel rolled up, paper towel rolled up inside of wax paper, and paper clipped at the end. Then you let them sit for a day and you observe what happens. Now if you actually want to do this, guys, you just take a picture of that for me and I'll give you extra credit in science class. If you want to guess what happens, the paper towel the next day is going to be dry. The water is going to evaporate. The paper towel that's rolled up will also be dry and kind of crunchy there. The one that's been inside of wax paper, clipped tight shut, will still carry some of that moisture, guys, because there's no way for the water to evaporate out of it. That's what we're learning as we work through different plants and how they adapt. And like in last chapter, we talked about the epidermis and that waxy coating on the top called the cuticle to be able to stop water loss, all those things that are happening. Okay, guys, let's get into our skill for today. Today we're talking about main ideas and details. It goes along with chapter 6 perfectly because we're going to talk about the main idea, which would be what is a biome, and then we'll talk about what each biome is like. And so that's kind of like the main idea. Here's what a biome is like. We'll give you all the details that make us take this section of the earth and divide it the way they are. You got your notes sitting here ready to rock and roll. The main idea tells what a reading selection is about. It is the most important idea in the passage. So it's a great skill for us to have in everything, guys. I get done with math class. I should know what the main idea in math was. I should know what the main idea in religion was. I mean, it's just what we need to do. Quickly finding and understanding the main idea of a passage is an important reading skill. Details support the main idea. So I got to be able to give a main idea, guys, but then you want to believe the main idea. That's what the details are for. The main idea identifies the statement. It can appear anywhere in the passage, but it is often found in the topic sentence, which usually is the first sentence in a paragraph. So number 4 is true. It can be anywhere. But number 5, it's usually the topic sentence, and many times the topic sentence is the first sentence in the paragraph. Sometimes it's the last, sometimes it can be the second, but usually it's the first sentence and you have it. Read the selection carefully. Note the details that help make the main idea clearer. Okay, we're watering your houseplants. Although all plants need some water, the amount of water varies among houseplants. The soil in which African violets grow should always be kept moist. If you grow aloe, allow the soil to dry out before you water. A spider plant likely likes plenty of water, except during the months of October to January. Then you're supposed to keep the soil dry. So I read the paragraph. Now I'm going to go back and see if I can answer from the book. The main idea of this passage: all plants need water, but the amount of water varies among houseplants. Notice this is your main idea. It's also your topic sentence. It's also the first sentence in the paragraph, which supports this thing. Okay, so the main idea is we need water, but the amount varies. How do you support that? Well, you have African violets who always need to be kept moist, so they need a lot of water. How do I know the amount varies? Because you have aloe, and you should let the soil of this one dry out before you water it again. So they don't need too much water because they're very good at storing it. Aloe is kind of like a cactus, guys. It looks different, but it stores like you and I would think of a cactus. And then you have a spider plant, which says, yep, normally I need a lot of water, so normally I should have plenty of water, except from months of October through January. Then they don't really need water. So they go through kind of a dormant stage there. And so these three different plants support that. One, you need water, but that the amount varies. Okay, now it's your turn. You're going to read this paragraph and write down a statement that is the main idea. If you want to do the whole sentence, you could do the whole sentence, and then there are 3 examples that support that main idea. So, plants that live in a desert biome have developed ingenious ways to save precious moisture. Many cacti have thick stems filled with pulpy materials in which they store lots of water. Acacia trees shed their leaves to avoid losing moisture by evaporation. The Joshua tree's needle-like leaves have a waxy coating which cut down on the exposure to sunlight, and they also reduce evaporation. So in my mind, guys, there's 4 sentences. 3 of them are naming specific trees or plants. That would be my details. And then the topic sentence would be my main idea. All right. Your extra credit for today up here at the top of your page is this tree right here, guys, is what we use to build the Ark of the Covenant. Probably better would be the tabernacle itself, the traveling tent. So you write down acacia tree used by Israelites. So you take that fancy word and you write it up here, acacia tree used in tabernacle, used by Israelites, used in the Bible, something that you grabbed a tree from science class and know that it's in the Bible. You write up there and I'll give you some extra credit. Awesome. Have a blessed day.